What's up, everybody out there? It's Dru Manchu. Welcome to the Dru Manchu Show. Hey, everybody out there in comic book land. I got a big old stack of books to share with you guys, so we're going to go ahead and get into it as quickly as possible. Get through this very quickly here. Let's go ahead and start talking about my independent haul. I picked up Prodigy #1. This is Mark Millar telling a story about the smartest man in the world. The smartest man in the world is faced with some really great problems that he solves with no trouble whatsoever. And the story does ramp up to him being faced with a bigger problem than he's ever seen before. Exciting stuff. I liked where it's going. The Raphael Albuquerque art is fantastic. Pick it up, man. I can't say enough good things about it. I also picked up The Walking Dead. This is number 186. This great Negan cover here. I also picked up the A cover here. And for those of you who've been reading this book and getting into the storyline with the Commonwealth, you've been wondering, is it going to go somewhere? Yeah, we finally get a really big left turn. Something happens here, and it really blew my mind. So this is a key issue for The Walking Dead. Make sure you pick this one up moving forward. Umbrella Academy #3 came out. I picked up both covers for this story. This is really the only story that Gerard Way has written in comics that really says anything to me at all. I really like the Gabriel Ba art. It's very simplistic and cartoony, but at the same time, really cool. Really purveys a sense of mood throughout the entire thing. I'm really digging it. Can't wait to see where it all goes when it comes together. Also picked up Crowded, issue #5. I haven't read this issue yet, but man, this is a great story about bounty hunters in the digital age of social media. Some cool stuff here, and I'm enjoying it. Bully Wars #4. Man, Scotty Young does a great job writing this series. This really focuses on some kids and some precarious situations, but at the same time, very fantastical at the same time. Hilarious, full of action and jokes. And if you're a fan of like I Hate Fairyland, be sure to check this one out. I'm going to have to strategically cover part of this cover up here, make sure that I'm in line with community standards. This is Unnatural, issue #5. Very, very sexy pig lady here. Yeah, this book is kind of messed up. It's about breeding practices in a world of humanoid animals. It's strange and interesting. I dig it. On to some DC stuff. We got Justice League. This is #13. Picked up this cover here. Aquaman does kind of look like Cro-Magnon Man, but beyond that, I kind of dig it. Very simplistic, almost homage to Alex Ross's style. But the story's told on the A cover, which is, this is a Legion of Doom issue. Tynion is kind of filling in for Snyder, telling us about the villains and their motivations, and this is how Joker gets one over on Lex Luthor. So it's enjoyable. Characters are spot on, and I can't wait to see how Joker gets his comeuppance from Lex in the future. It's going to be awesome. Man, let's talk about Doomsday Clock. I really don't want to. I can't believe this thing's still going, and I really can't believe is that the most interesting issue so far has been issue 8 of 12. I've heard people say that this is a slow burn and it's finally starting to catch on fire. Man, no, it's not. The art is terrible. Gary Frank, I hear people praising his art left and right. It's pedestrian, it's overworked, it's just plain ugly in a lot of cases, and some of these faces make no sense whatsoever. Superman kind of acts on a character in a lot of different ways. I'm not really a huge fan of that. And if you're a fan of Firestorm, I guess maybe there's something to look at here, but count me out there. I can't believe I'm still picking this up. This issue right here has nothing to do with the Watchmen at all, and I don't know where it's going, and I frankly don't care. I can only be glad that it's going to take 2 more months before I get another issue of that book to bitch about. Batman #60. Yeah, this Matina cover here. People are liking these covers, but this looks exactly the same as the last 2 Matina covers. Kind of just photoshopped and moved those characters around. So, nah. This story is just, I kind of thought that I liked where it was going in the last issue, but the more and more we get into it, the more and more that I don't give a shit. Yeah, the characterization of Batman is way off, and I'm just, man, like, I'm just not down for Tom King's Batman. Sorry, gang. Back to the good stuff. Super Sons #5. Here on the cover, we got John being probed by this alien thing. What the hell's going on there? Inside the book, we get the Super Sons teaming up and squaring off with their older selves. Kind of a really cool take on that, and we see how they inspire each other. I love this book. Tomasi has a great grasp on these characters, and it's inspiring and fun every single time around. I'm kind of sad that this 12-issue run of Adventures of Super Sons is just a maxi issue. It's outside of continuity. It's kind of a little bit of a flashback. And Brian Michael Bendis is going to ruin Superboy, which really sucks because I really would have liked the Super Sons interact with the characters in this new book, which is Shazam #1. We get Shazam and the Shazam family being all Shazammy. And man, I don't know if you're a huge fan of the Captain Marvel series or not. I'm of the school of thought that there is only one Captain Marvel. His name is Marvel. He's of the Kree Empire. Beyond that, we got Ms. Marvel, Lady Captain Marvel, and Shazam. Shazam's pretty awesome in this book, I'll tell you that much. I like the story. Him and his fellow foster kids have formed the Shazam family, and we're going to see where that goes moving forward. The one thing I will say is that the art in this book was very up and down, inconsistent, and overall disappointing. That being said, the art in the backup story was pitch perfect, and the characters being developed there were really great as well. I think that the backup story overshadowed the main tale here in a lot of different ways, but I'm excited for where this goes moving forward, and I've never been a huge fan of the Shazam, but this is kind of giving me a Shazam-gasm, so get down on that. On to the Marvel stuff, or I like to call it the stuff that matters. Avenger Prelude. This doesn't matter at all. This is kind of just a recap of Infinity War in comic book form. It's the first of 3 parts. We don't even get the name of the new movie on the cover, so I don't know why I bought that, but I did. It was slightly enjoyable. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. This is a new story arc here. The art is always consistent and fun. The stories are always lighthearted and upbeat. And I'm really digging Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. If you like the Marvel Universe and you like just plain dumb fun, you should be reading this. Let's see what we got next. I got Deadpool. Speaking of dumb fun and Scotty Young. This is Scotty Young written Deadpool, and he's got to kill Santa Claus. If that doesn't sound like it's up your alley, it's probably not. If it sounds like it's up your alley, it probably is. So that kind of sells itself, man. I don't have to really say anything more about that. I picked up the Merry X-Men Holiday Special. This is the A cover, the DNA cover, and DNA is really doing some great stuff. David Nakayama, I believe is his name. I don't know for sure, but you always see that DNA logo right there. That's his signature. And it's like Adam Hughes with talent, man. It's pretty great. I'm loving this cover. I also picked up the other cover as well. Very anime style. Very pastel. I'm digging it. Some chibi stuff happening down here at the bottom here. I like this. This is cool stuff. Get Nightcrawler bamfing all over the place. Nice cover. Lots going on there, but I dig it. This book here was 25 single-page stories, kind of an advent calendar of X-Men characters. I really dug it, man. I didn't think I would like it. It's very thoughtful and introspective character stuff. Very heartwarming holiday stuff. Some things were a little bit more down in the dumps X-Men style than I probably would have liked in a holiday issue, but man, it touched my heart. Reached out, it touched my heart. I love this. I didn't think I was going to like it, and I really did. So I suggest you check out the X-Men Holiday Special. I also picked up both covers that I saw for Uncanny X-Men #4. This right here is the Lian Hyuk variant, and I like to call this the X-Jesus. This is X-Man coming down. He's finally been revealed. He is the big villain of this story. or so we think so far, and there's some really great stuff here. We get Legion and the young X-Men teaming up, trying to recruit Madrox to finish up Legion's plan. We get them fighting also verbally with Jean Grey and the grown X-Men about where their place is in this battle. And we also get the reveal of X-Man as the big bad so far, and they question, what's his power like? And Apocalypse says he's got Magneto on a leash and he's got Apocalypse in chains. Do not question this man's power. And that right there is all you really need to know about it. So going forward, I'm going to be excited to see how they deal with this story going forward. I just said going forward like 6 times, but hey man, going forward, I think we should look into this. Also going forward, we got the Exterminated, and going backward a little bit, X-Men Extermination's not over yet. We got 1 issue left of this story, but we are going to get the wrap-up in this book here. This might have been one of the worst books I read all week. Just inconsistent storytelling. The art was subpar. We got 2 different stories here. The second story being a flashback to Cyclops being a good father to Cable, which never really happened. And the first story is got Hope and Jean interacting with Deadpool, trying to figure out what's going on with Cable's old safe houses. So there's a lot going on here, a lot to unpack. If you're a Cable fan, you might see more into it than I do. But I thought it was just so convoluted that it just did nothing for me and was kind of pointless. So I would not go and pick this one up. It did have a really great variant cover with Skeleton Cable. But for, a couple extra bucks, I wasn't down to spend. I'm kind of glad I didn't get that one because this book was terrible. Excuse me. The Immortal Hulk #1. I picked up the Scotty Young cover here. It's actually Immortal Hulk 15, but it's the #1 variant edition, which is weird. But yeah, man, I dig that. Haven't read through it yet, but love Scotty Young cover, so I picked that up. Another new #1 is actually Namor. This is actually a #1, but I picked up Scotty Young cover. Haven't had a chance to read this yet. Excited to get into it, since I always have called Namor Cool Aquaman. Excited to read that. Marvel Knights #3 came out. Donny Cates is telling this story, but it is written by someone different. I think it's Teeny Howard is writing this one here. The art has been a little bit inconsistent through the series, but it's still been good, and I love where this is going. Excited to see how this all wraps up and what they do with this in the new year. There are plans that have not yet been announced for Marvel Knights in the new year, and I heard that straight from Donny Cates' mouth when he was interviewed by my boy Pope Grimey. I will link in the description. I will link Pope Grimey's channel and his interview with Donny Cates, so you guys can check that out. It's really awesome stuff. Glad he got a chance to do that. #9 of Venom came out this week. We got the Venom dog on the cover here, and I also picked up the where'd it go? Here we go. This is the Red Ghost cover for the Fantastic Four villains. This is the only one that I really dug. Get that glare out of the way. There you go. Beautiful painting there. This just kind of builds off of where Venom has been, and kind of involves his father a little bit, Eddie's father. So we'll see where that goes. Kind of excited to see how they wrap that up. Beyond those books, I also picked up a book from last week that I didn't have a chance to grab, and that's Middle West. Scotty Young here. Hear nothing but great things about that. Scotty Young's become a theme on this show. I'm a huge fan, so excited to get into that. That being all the books that I have for this week, I did sell some things on JP's auction on All About Comics this week, so thank you, All About Comics, for letting me come and hang out and do that. We've got a lot of cool things happening in the communities. Be sure to check out the Comic Core on Friday nights. I'll link that in the description, as well as you see the ticker right here, Blaster Stash It Comic Book Show every Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, live on the YouTubes. Check that out. There will be a link in the description. It's myself, Pocan Joe, Spectacular Spider Grandpa, Midwest Comic Man, and our fearless leader, Huey's Comics. So check us out. We're going to review all these books. We'll shoot the shit along the way, and you'll get all kinds of opinions that you never signed up for. But check us out, man. It's a whole lot of fun. On the 30th of this month, the last Sunday of the year, we will be doing what I like to call the Stashies. Well, we all call them the Stashies, but I like to call them the Stashies as well. This is the 3rd annual Stashies. It's our annual award show for best comics, best characters, all kinds of cool stuff we're going to be doing on that, so be sure to check that out as well. I will put the link in the description to the channel so you guys can check it out. That's all I got for you guys this week. I'm Dru Manchu, and collect what you love, share what you find. I will see you guys next time.